Have you ever wondered why some people seem to rise so quickly in life while others remain stuck in the same place for years? What is it that truly sets them apart? If you're seeking growth, success, and a deeper understanding of how to increase your value in the world, then you're in the right place. Before we dive in, make sure you subscribe and join this community, because together we're building a life of purpose, wealth, and wisdom.
1. The principle of value exchange. At the heart of progress lies a timeless principle. Value is exchanged, not given for free. Life, business, and even personal relationships operate on this invisible law of reciprocity. Nothing worthwhile comes without contribution, and nothing sustainable is ever truly free. To grow, you must understand that success is not about luck, it's about what you bring to the table. If you want more, you must first become more. Every job, every opportunity, and every reward is tied directly to the value you deliver, whether that value comes in the form of your skills, your insights, your energy, or your ability to solve problems for others. This principle may sound simple, but it is often ignored. Many people wait for opportunity, hoping that circumstances will change in their favor, when in reality, opportunity is drawn to value. Think about the marketplace. No one pays for effort alone. They pay for results. A farmer doesn't get rewarded for simply planting seeds. The reward comes when the harvest is reaped. Likewise, an employee is not compensated for merely showing up, but for what they achieve, the problems they solve, and the progress they enable for their organization. The question isn't just, what are you getting? It's, what are you giving? When you reframe your thinking from entitlement to contribution, you place yourself in control of outcomes. By choosing to create instead of just consume, by offering solutions instead of waiting for handouts, you make yourself indispensable. This mindset is what opens the door to unlimited potential. Every act of value you put into the world creates ripple effects that often return in unexpected ways. Sometimes immediately, sometimes years later, but always proportionate to the worth of what you gave. This is why people who consistently develop themselves rarely stay stagnant. If you continue increasing your capacity to contribute, you make yourself more attractive to opportunities. A person who adds more value to their workplace becomes irreplaceable. A business that serves customers better than anyone else thrives even in competitive industries. An individual who learns to listen deeply and help others grows their network and influence without effort. The law of value exchange is impartial. It rewards contribution and ignores excuses. Consider how this principle applies universally. In friendships, the people who give encouragement, loyalty, and time are the ones who build strong, lasting bonds. In communities, those who volunteer their skills or resources uplift everyone, creating goodwill that comes back around in the form of trust and respect. Even in personal growth, you cannot expect self-confidence or clarity without first putting in the work of reflection, discipline, and consistent practice. Everywhere you look, exchange is happening, either fairly, unfairly, or unconsciously. When you fully embrace this law, it becomes impossible to remain passive. Instead of asking, why am I not getting more, you begin asking, how can I become more valuable? That shift in perspective is powerful. It means that no matter where you start, no matter how little you may feel you have, you can begin improving your situation today by focusing on what you give. The value may come in the form of effort, creativity, kindness, or innovation. It might be knowledge, solutions, or simply the willingness to do what others won't. Whatever it is, the exchange begins with you, not with waiting for external conditions. The path to success is not paved with entitlement, it is paved with contribution. When you focus on becoming a source of value, you stop chasing success and instead attract it. Over time, this principle reshapes your character, your career, and your destiny. You move from scarcity to abundance, from passivity to action, and from dependence to empowerment. The principle of value exchange is not just about business, it is about life itself. And once you truly live by it, you realize that the only real limits are the limits on how much value you are willing to create and share. 2. Skills that increase worth. Your worth in the marketplace is a reflection of the skills you've mastered. While good intentions, positive energy, and hard work are important, they are not enough on their own. What ultimately determines your ability to earn, influence, and grow is the level of competence you bring to the table. Skills are the currency of opportunity. Think about it. A rare skill creates rare opportunities. Someone who can perform what few others can will always find themselves in demand. Communication, leadership, problem solving. These are not just talents, they're assets that compound over time. Consider communication. The ability to express ideas clearly and persuasively can make the difference between being overlooked and being promoted, between closing a deal and losing one. Leadership is another. Organizations and communities alike thrive when strong leaders step up to guide, inspire, and organize people toward a common vision. And problem solving may be the most valuable skill of all, because at its core, business and life are nothing but a constant stream of challenges waiting for solutions. If you dedicate yourself to daily growth, learning, and improvement, your value multiplies. Think of your skill set like a portfolio. Every new competency you add diversifies and strengthens it, increasing its resilience and potential return. Just as an investor doesn't put all wealth into one stock, you shouldn't rely on one skill to carry you forever. The world changes, industries evolve, and technology disrupts, but those who keep learning, adapt, and remain valuable. One of the greatest truths is this: don't wish for life to be easier, wish to be better. Challenges will never disappear, but when your skills grow, those same challenges become opportunities. To someone unskilled, a difficult situation feels overwhelming. To someone well-prepared, it feels like a chance to shine. For example, public speaking may terrify most people, but for the skilled communicator, it is a stage for influence. Data analysis may intimidate many, but for the skilled analyst, it is an opportunity to extract insights that guide million-dollar decisions. The difference lies not in the difficulty of the world, but in the level of skill you've cultivated. Every new skill you acquire increases your ability to serve, and in turn, your ability to earn. It may not be immediate, but over time, the compounding effect is undeniable. Learn to code, and suddenly, you can create tools instead of only using them. Learn negotiation, and suddenly every contract, salary discussion, or partnership leans more in your favor. Learn time management, and suddenly you can do twice the work in half the time. The accumulation of skills transforms you from replaceable to indispensable. But beyond external rewards, there is an internal transformation. Developing skills builds confidence, resilience, and a sense of independence. When you know you can learn anything with persistence, fear begins to lose its grip. You become less dependent on external conditions and more focused on your own capacity to adapt. This mindset frees you from helplessness and positions you to seize opportunities others overlook. So, if you want to increase your worth, look at your skills. Where are the gaps? What competencies will open doors in your chosen path? Where can you become rare and valuable? The pursuit of skill development is not optional. It is essential for anyone who wants to thrive. Skills are the ladder to growth, and each rung you climb lifts you higher. Over time, the climb compounds into mastery, and mastery creates freedom. The better you become, the greater your ability to serve, to earn, and to live fully.
3. Innovation and creativity. But skills alone aren't enough. The world doesn't just reward effort or competence. It rewards those who think differently, those who bring originality into the mix. Innovation is not only about creating something brand new, it's about finding better, smarter, and more efficient ways of doing things. Creativity is the spark that transforms good into great. And in a crowded world full of competent people,
It is often the creative thinker who stands out. Innovation is problem-solving at its highest level. It is seeing what others overlook, asking questions no one else thinks to ask, and connecting ideas that seem unrelated. Consider the story of countless entrepreneurs who built thriving companies not by inventing something entirely new, but by improving on what already existed. They looked at ordinary challenges, waiting for a taxi, renting a hotel room, streaming music, and created new, elegant solutions that revolutionized industries. Uber didn't invent transportation, Airbnb didn't invent lodging, Spotify didn't invent music. What they did was innovate, improve, and reimagine. Ask yourself daily, how can I improve this? How can I do this better? That mindset separates leaders from followers. Followers accept things as they are. Leaders imagine how things could be. Creativity doesn't mean painting, writing, or composing. It means approaching every challenge with curiosity and openness. It is refusing to accept that the current way is the only way. The combination of creativity and discipline is powerful. On one hand, creativity allows you to see possibilities others miss. On the other, discipline ensures you bring those ideas to life. Many people have great ideas, but few follow through. Innovation requires both the spark of imagination and the persistence of execution. Without execution, ideas remain dreams. Without imagination, work remains ordinary. The union of both creates transformation. When you become a problem solver with creativity, your value skyrockets. Imagine an employee who doesn't just follow instructions, but finds a faster, cheaper, or more effective way to get results. Imagine a business owner who doesn't just sell products, but redefines the customer experience in a way that delights people. Imagine an individual who doesn't just adapt to change, but helps shape the very change itself. These are the people who rise above the competition and leave legacies that last. The world is filled with competent workers, but it is desperate for innovators. Skills can be taught, but vision is cultivated. The habit of asking, "Why not?" or "What if?" turns ordinary moments into opportunities for invention. The courage to test new ideas, fail, and learn turn average contributors into pioneers. And the willingness to see differently, to see opportunity where others see obstacles, is what separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. Ultimately, creativity is about contribution. It is not self-indulgence, it is service. When you innovate, you make life easier, more efficient, more enjoyable, or more meaningful for others. In doing so, you increase your own worth because value always follows impact. Skills make you capable, but creativity makes you unforgettable. Combine both, and you not only survive in the marketplace, you lead, inspire, and shape the future.
4. Financial rewards of value. Here's the truth. Money always follows value. Many people spend their lives chasing money directly, believing that if they just hustle hard enough or grab at the next opportunity, they will achieve financial freedom. But the marketplace is not swayed by desperation or desire. It is moved only by value. Money is not emotional. It is a neutral measurement of the service you render to others. At its core, the financial system is an exchange. People are rewarded in direct proportion to the problems they solve, the efficiency they bring, and the needs they fulfill. This is why one individual might earn a modest income while another earns thousands or even millions. The difference is not luck alone, but the scale, depth, and rarity of the value they provide. Think about it. A doctor who saves lives, a software engineer who creates systems used by millions, or an entrepreneur who builds solutions for widespread problems,
All of these people command high compensation, not because they are chasing money, but because they have positioned themselves as indispensable. The doctor has invested years mastering knowledge that very few possess, and society pays accordingly. The engineer develops something that increases productivity and efficiency, and businesses reward such an innovation handsomely. The entrepreneur identifies a gap and creates a bridge, and because countless lives benefit, wealth flows naturally to them. In every case, it is value, demonstrated, proven, and expanded, that brings financial reward. This principle is both liberating and humbling. It is liberating because it means anyone, regardless of their current circumstances, can increase their financial standing by focusing on growth and personal development. You are not condemned to your present level of income. You can grow beyond it by increasing your skills, your problem-solving capacity, and your ability to contribute to others' lives. It is humbling because it reveals that money does not come because you deserve it or because you want it badly enough. Desire alone does not pay the bills. Effort without direction does not guarantee reward. Only value, consistently delivered, produces lasting financial results. Consider for a moment the example of two employees in the same company. One performs their tasks diligently, but never goes beyond what is expected. The other takes time to understand the bigger picture, identifies inefficiencies, suggests solutions, and even mentors younger staff. Both technically fulfill their roles, but one becomes indispensable while the other remains replaceable. Over time, the second employee rises, receives promotions, and earns more, not because they worked harder, but because they worked more valuably. This same principle applies on larger scales. Businesses, products, and even entire industries rise and fall based on the value they provide. Therefore, instead of chasing money directly, the wiser pursuit is to chase growth. Ask yourself, what problems am I solving? How valuable are the solutions I bring? Am I developing rare and useful skills? Am I becoming someone that others can rely on? The answers to these questions determine your financial destiny more than any get-rich-quick scheme ever will. Focus on becoming more knowledgeable, more resourceful, more disciplined, and more creative. As you refine yourself, you increase your worth in the marketplace, and money cannot help but follow. Financial freedom, then, is not a mystery. It is the natural result of personal growth compounded over time. The more valuable you become to your company, your clients, your community, or the world at large, the more financial resources flow in your direction. Instead of worrying about the paycheck, worry about the person you are becoming. Because when you increase your value, money becomes the natural byproduct, not the ultimate goal, but the inevitable outcome of a life devoted to growth, service, and mastery.
5. Contribution beyond wealth. But real success is not just measured by what you earn, it's measured by what you give. Too many people stop at the stage of accumulation, believing that wealth alone defines a life well lived. Yet history proves otherwise. The names we remember, the figures who inspire generations, are not remembered for their bank accounts, but for their contributions. True success extends beyond personal prosperity into the realm of impact. Contribution is the highest form of value, because while money sustains life, contribution transforms it. Think of the teachers who shape young minds, often earning modest salaries, but leaving behind legacies that ripple across decades. Think of philanthropists who dedicate portions of their wealth to causes greater than themselves, ensuring that communities thrive, schools flourish, or the poor receive relief. These examples remind us that while wealth is powerful, significance is eternal. To simply accumulate is to miss the greater reward of life, the chance to uplift others, to use your skills and resources as instruments of change, to leave the world better than you found it. Contribution does not always require vast riches. It can be as simple as sharing knowledge with someone eager to learn, mentoring someone on their journey, volunteering time in service of a cause, or creating art that inspires souls. The essence of contribution lies not in the amount given, but in the spirit behind the giving. A billionaire who donates millions without care may make a mark, but a single act of sincere kindness, a meal shared, a life encouraged, a moment of guidance, can carry immeasurable weight. This is why contribution is the highest expression of value. It multiplies beyond the self, touching lives in ways that financial gain alone never could. There is also a profound truth hidden within contribution. It creates fulfillment. Many wealthy individuals confess to feeling empty even after achieving financial milestones they once dreamed of. The cars, the houses, the luxuries, all of these eventually lose their shine. But when they turn outward, when they begin to give back, they discover a deeper satisfaction. Why? Because humans are wired for meaning, and meaning is found in service. When you use your gifts to improve the lives of others, you experience a joy that money by itself cannot buy. Contribution anchors wealth in purpose and elevates success into significance. Imagine two paths. The first is a person who spends their life building wealth for themselves, enjoying comfort but leaving little behind. The second is a person who builds wealth and uses it to mentor, to donate, to innovate solutions for pressing human needs. When both are gone, who will be remembered? Who will leave a legacy that outlasts time? Wealth fades with the generations, but contribution creates echoes that live on. This is why the ultimate reward of becoming valuable is not the bank account you accumulate, but the lives you enrich. So as you increase your worth and experience financial rewards, remember that money is a tool, not a trophy. Its highest purpose is not in hoarding, but in channeling toward growth, opportunity, and empowerment for others. Real wealth is measured by the number of lives touched, the communities strengthened, and the legacies built. Success without contribution is shallow, but success with contribution is eternal. And that is the measure of a truly valuable life.
So, here's the challenge. Don't just aim to earn more, aim to be more. Increase your skills, sharpen your creativity, and live a life of contribution. If this message inspired you, subscribe for more content on building success and living with purpose. Your journey to becoming more valuable starts now.